BLS International is the stock that we're talking about right now because, there have been a bunch of updates coming in. There was a credit rating upgrade that came by. Alongside that, they've opened, an arm in Jordan as well. Shikhar Aggarwal, the joint managing director of the company, joins in. Shikhar, thank you for joining in. Just wanted to understand a couple of things. First up to you, your team, a very happy new year. The third quarter, typically seasonally the strongest quarter for you. Have you seen that, reflect in the numbers? If you could give us a sense of how the numbers have been directionally, not specifically. And also this arm that you've opened in Jordan, what does that do to the prospects of the company? How much does that add in terms of incremental revenue?
Yes. So, as you know, BLS International, in the last few years, we've been really growing. We have changed our strategy all across the world. And, we have changed our model from partner-led model to our own companies. So in that aspect, we opened our own subsidiary in Jordan, in Saudi, in many countries around the world. That has led to an increase in margin and will definitely drive up our profitability going forward. Third quarter, definitely, we feel the numbers should be stable. December is a little low in terms of travel globally that we have seen in the past, but otherwise we feel that numbers should maintain at a stable level. On top of that, we have also recently won a new contract with the UAE Ministry of Foreign Affairs, wherein we have opened up centers in Moscow and Mumbai, wherein we have got an exclusive mandate to process consular service applications, and we will be processing around 100,000 applications annually. So this is just a start, and we feel this is the phase one of the contract. In future phases, we will win newer geographies from them.
Okay, all right. Hi, Shikhar. Good morning. Good to speak to you in the new year. Tell us a little bit about volumes. You had indicated in the past that volumes in parts like China as well as Russia have still not hit the peak. Are they gradually moving towards that level now or still a distance away?
See, if you talk about quarter two numbers, we did around 10 lakh applications in quarter two, which was a dump of 30% compared to same quarter last year. So definitely numbers in China have started moving up. They have come, closer to the pre-COVID level, I would say at the same levels. But definitely Russia is still lagging behind. We have just reached 20 to 30% of the pre-COVID volume in Russia. But so that will take some time, I feel, depending on the geopolitical situation. But I feel that in the next few maybe 1 year or 2 year, things should normalize in Russia also. But having said that, we have seen growth in numbers coming in from our other geographies like India, UK, African markets, North American markets. So, their numbers have in some countries even surpassed pre-COVID levels.
Right. Just understanding a couple of things from you. You said third quarter was good. Obviously, you won't be able to give us specific numbers, but just wanted to understand a couple of things. First quarter, typically, the first half of the year typically accounts for nearly 40% of your revenues. 60% comes by in the second half of this year. Do you think that trend for this year will be maintained? Because the first half of this year, on a quarterly basis, you've done closer to 500 crores on the top line. And the second part, you said because of your newer strategy, your margins have improved. And that's something that we've witnessed here as well. Your margins in the second quarter were close to around 33% led by the visa business, which had 36% margins. So is this margin sustainable or are there further levers for growth out there? If you could give us a sense on quarterly run rate and margins going forward.
See, first of all, quarterly run rate, we expect our objective is to maintain the quarterly run rate, whatever we have achieved till now. In the second quarter, we grew 70% compared to same quarter last year. Margins have been consolidated at 33% now. We grew from 20% to 27% and now 33%. So our short-term objective, and it is first to maintain the margins, whatever we have achieved. We've also acquired certain companies like RD Phyllis, etc., which is a subsidiary of BLS E-Services, which has a revenue of around 600 crores. Those numbers will all start coming in, but the margins are a little less in that company. So definitely we feel that our main objective is to maintain the margins, whatever we have achieved going forward. And we want to maintain the numbers, whatever we have achieved. If you see, it takes a lot of time to win contracts. We've been bidding for a lot of contracts, and this year itself, we have won, this financial year, we have won few contracts from Portugal government, Hungary government, and now this UAE government, from Italian government. So next year also we expect certain new contracts to come in. The pipeline is big, billions of dollars of contracts. Newer governments are also outsourcing, and we're constantly bidding. So we feel that our existing business is also growing because of our change in model to our own model from partner-led model, consolidation of these acquisitions, and the new business that we are targeting.
All right, just a question before we let you go. This year, you would cross 2,000 crores in revenue, I presume, with 33% margin. Should analysts be sure of that?
See, first 2 quarters, the numbers that we've achieved, I can only comment on that. But definitely our objective is to maintain the numbers that we have achieved. And as we grow as a company, definitely our objective is to grow. If you see a 5-year trajectory, we've done 70% CAGR growth in the last 5 years. So definitely whatever numbers we've achieved first 2 quarters, we want to maintain that.
All right. And the digital business, the non-visa business, which is about 15% of your revenues, where do you see that going?
So digital business has also grown. We have seen a good growth coming in that business. We've won a lot of new contracts with different public sector and private sector banks. We've also acquired this company, RD Phyllis, that numbers should start coming in this quarter. So definitely we see good growth compared to last year and last few quarters in BLS e-services as well.
All right, take that point. Thank you so much for joining in, Shikhar, and giving us the update on the business as it were. Wish you good luck for the remainder of this financial year and all of this calendar year, personally and professionally.